Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Mesicki with the MFA marketing team, and I'm here today with Ed Pashon. We'll be sharing more details about the MFA certification program. Ed, thank you for joining us. Can you share more details about your background and your role within the MFA?
Yes, my background is in test and certification. I've been working for pretty much my whole career in test validation, test design, systems integration and test, and in different industries, mostly consumer electronics and wireless telecommunications these days. My role within the MFA is this as the certification authority, which is a role defined by our certification program. I serve as an impartial, unbiased referee for the processes we have. I don't work for a member company. I work for the Alliance, and it's basically my job to administer these programs and processes in an impartial and objective fashion.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what the certification program entails?
So the certification program for MFA is relatively lean. It's a fairly straightforward process. If you have a device, you tell us a little bit about your device, and it goes to one of our authorized test labs for evaluation, where we run some of the tests that have been defined by the MFA on those devices. The test lab evaluates the results and sends them into me as the certification authority, and I make the decision on whether or not to grant certification to the device based off the results of the testing.
Can you tell us some of the benefits you've seen across the industry, really, for certification programs and for multi-fire certification specifically?
And so there's really three benefits typically to a certification program. The first is to reduce the risk of field interoperability failures. It's easy for a company to make two devices that can talk to each other, but getting devices from different companies to interact properly, to function correctly with each other is a much more difficult task. And that's really the primary purpose of a certification program, is to reduce the risk that you're going to have a problem in the field and have unhappy customers when their devices don't work. So that's the primary purpose of these, is to ensure that we have a field operation that's correct and we minimize field operability failures. There are other benefits as well. You get to use things like the MFA certification mark on your device and your promotional materials. And we also list your device on our webpage so that people can, it's another way for people to learn about your device and serves your marketing purposes. But that's really secondary to the primary purpose of making sure your devices work with devices from other companies.
Who's eligible to get a device certified with the MFA program?
So the MFA program, it's open to all members of the MFA at any membership tier. And that way you can get access to the test specs and the process documents and things so you can understand what's going on with your device. So it's open to all members of the MFA.
And what would the first step be if somebody wanted to certify that device?
The first step would be to reach out to me, and I can provide you all the materials and walk you through the process. We have a bunch of documentation that describes the process flow, but part of my job as the certification authority is to help you get through it. So the first step really is to reach out to me. And once you get into the process, really what you need to do is you need to find a test lab, arrange testing with one of our authorized test labs. And you also need to tell us about your device. We have a little questionnaire, basically, called an X, that you use to describe your device. What is it? What are its capabilities? We use that so we know what tests to run and what are the requirements for certification. So that's really the first practical step, is you need to fill out this form for us so that we know what you're doing.
Can you tell us more about any certified devices that are available in the market today?
Yes, we've had our first set of devices come through the certification program from Nokia. They have certified an eNode B and a couple of different UEs that are target for different markets.
And where can people go for more information?
Yes, we have a lot of information on our website. If you go to mfatech.org, we have a section on certification program, and it gives an overview of the program, gives a form that you can fill out that'll send an email to me so that to answer any questions you may have. And we also have frequently asked questions guide up there that answers some of the most common questions we receive.
Okay, well, thanks so much for your time today, Ed. This has been very informative. Take care.
Glad to be of service.